Hello everyone, welcome to GAN the answer writing for beginners. So those who are starting their preparation, I would suggest that they start writing the answer as soon as possible. In our various videos, we have discussed the strategy for examinations for 2021 prelims for 2022. We will also be bringing strategies for 2023. But this one is specific for answer writing and this is for beginners. We will be bringing more videos on answer writing, but this is for someone who just are starting their preparation. For starters, as I've always been telling this thing, that UPSC is about knowledge, strategy, and answer writing. So in this video, we will cover the answer writing part. We will be bringing multiple videos. At the end of the video, I have also given you one question that you can write and email it to me at arun1102888@gmail.com. I'll also repeat. Please note the email ID arun110288@gmail.com. So you can write the answer and please send in PDF format only after scanning. It is easy for me to evaluate and I'll be responding back after evaluation. So let's start today's video. So for answer writing has these 5 components. First would be the content, second would be the context, third would be the structure of your answer, fourth is how well you present, and then fifth is your language and expression. So somewhat these are in the decreasing order of their importance. So that means that content is the most important part and then we will be going down. So when we talk about content, as I told you, UPSC is 3 parts when you prepare for UPSC. One would be your knowledge, second would be your strategy, and third would be your answer writing. Okay, so the content is directly, it comes from the knowledge part. So everyone knows content is the most important part. Simultaneously, you also know that content, when you are preparing for like 1.5 years, for example, yesterday only we discussed about 18-month strategy for 2022. You can integrate that video with this and you can definitely prepare very well for 2022. So in these 1.5 years, as this there was a strategy put by me yesterday, if you prepare well, then you will have the content. Content is, the basics plus current. That is your whole content, all for all the subjects. Okay. So content, for the content and the, you need to remember the syllabus, you need to memorize the syllabus, and we have also put the videos for the syllabus. We have decoded the syllabus and the book list in earlier videos, and you can find it on my channel. And go and please watch those videos so that you will be clear with what is the syllabus for each subject. So for example, let's talk about GS paper 1. There are mainly 3 subjects. One is history, one is geography, and third one is society. So I have explained all this in the previous videos. So go and watch that video also. And so you need to get good knowledge. How the knowledge come from books. Okay, it does not come by itself, and it does not come from a lot of teachers. Yeah, teachers definitely, but try to follow one or two teacher for one subject. But I would suggest only single teacher for one subject. Don't go for multiple teachers because most of the things are in the books. Whatever the teacher teaches you, just go and revise from the book and that's it. Plus you need to develop the content using the newspapers. Whatever is there in the current, you need to add on with the basics that you need, and that is the knowledge part. So from here you get the content. So we need not to worry much about the content. For today's question, what you are going to do is you are going to search either on books or Google and then write and try to stick to the word limits. Whatever word limits is given, try to stick to that word limit. For a 10 marker question, there is 150 words limit, and for a 15 marker, there is 250 words. In today's video, we won't talk about the time limit. Time limit we will be covering in upcoming videos, because for now we need to know what a good answer is, how one answer should look like. So in the answer for content part, because most of you may be just starting your preparation for 2022 or maybe for 2021 also, maybe they may not have enough content. So for content, you go with for books or any source. So for content, I'm telling you, just go and search and then only write. Okay. So content for today's question and for next 1.5 months or even next 2.5 months, don't worry much about the content. Whatever question I will be giving you for next 2.5 months, just go and write. Okay. I'll try to give one question or 2 or 3 questions every week. So just search and write. Don't worry about the content. After the content, the most important part is the context. If you don't understand what the examiner wants, so most important part is what the examiner wants. So you should read the question very carefully, not carefully, very carefully. What happens is, when we don't read the question and when we are not well prepared, what we tend to do is that just what we do, we will read a keyword in the question and write everything around the keyword. But for example, if something has been asked, for example, if there has been asked the implementation of GST, how is the implementation of GST so far performing in our country? So most of the students, if they don't know the question or don't read the question properly, what they will do, the implementation of GST, they won't read the work, the performance. So what they will do, they will write how the GST is implemented by central government, CGST, SGST, IGST. They will be explaining this. But the question wants you to write how the performance of the GST Council, how the implementation of GST so far has been going on in our country. So this is what I am talking about. So you need to read the question very carefully and understand what has been asked. Even if you write a few points, but those points should be in the context. And you need to work on context from very start. From today only, from the question number 1 only. You need to work very hard on this, for this. Because if you don't try to understand the context, what will happen, you will be writing anything and you will be getting 1 out of 10, 2 out of 15 marks, and this won't help. Okay, so read the question very well and then only start writing. Third is the structure part. So you cannot be writing randomly. You should make a framework. Structure is basically the framework of your answer. So there should be a brief introduction, then the major part would be the body, and then there would be a conclusion of the question. Don't leave the question without conclusion, because it would be like hanging. The question would be hanging and the examiner may not get a good vibe from the question, that okay, the student does not know how to conclude the answer, they don't know what can be done. So conclusion is very important, introduction is also important, but the body, definitely it is the content again, but most important part is, again, is the conclusion. Because if you don't conclude the answer, it does not give a completion, and for completion only the examiner may deduct a few marks. So how could you write a good introduction? So introductions can be written in multiple ways. One way would be either your definition of particular topic or your general understanding. If they haven't asked definition of anything particularly and you don't remember the definition particularly, so you can just give a brief general understanding what do you understand that by that particular thing. Or you can just, for after general understanding, other parts, other things are, you can quote a few data, few reports of Indian institution for international institution for this introduction. You can also write sometimes some committee report or committee recommendation, committee report name. Okay, you can start with some current context of the question, why the question has been asked, what is the current scenario, what has been happened recently in particular thing. For example, if anything, they ask about the Citizenship Amendment Act, and you can just start with the amendment recently happened and there was some controversies regarding it. You can start with the introduction like that. The body part. The body part is again the content part, but you need to organize the body part. You cannot write randomly. Try to write on priority basis. Don't give very obvious solution first, like awareness generation. Please, if solution has been asked, don't give awareness generation as a very first point. Okay, it would be very negative. Or don't give very obvious or very generic, like for if there is issues regarding economy, then don't write employment generation as a solution. If you are writing employment generation, then elaborate it. Don't just write a single word. Don't write a single word, how much important it may be. Try to elaborate your solutions. Okay, and when you elaborate your solutions, try to give examples. So body part is not only that you have a good knowledge and you will be writing 1 2 3 4. If you are writing 1 2 3 4, then point number 1 should be more important than point number 4. Okay, some 1 2 may be okay. What happens sometimes student does is, first they will be writing very irrelevant or generic point, second they would be writing generic point, and third they would be writing a good point. The examiner will read first 2 points, so they are very generic. We sometimes may or may not bother to read third point, or the impression of the examiner has already gone down for your answer, so you will be losing half mark at least. So make it a good habit to prioritize your points, and in the upcoming videos we'll be talk about how we can prioritize our points. Today's video is about the beginners only. Okay, then finally you need to conclude your answer. As I told you, conclusion is very important. Don't keep your answer hanging. Okay, so how you can conclude? If the question specifically asks about some way forward, then it's fine. You do not need to write big conclusive remarks. If they don't, then one way is to write way forward. Other way is to write the current relevance of the topic. Other way, you can quote something. Okay, quote some facts that till now it has been X, now we need to move Y because India wants to become economic superpower. For example, new education policy, it talks about India becoming a knowledge superpower. Okay, so anything regarding education, knowledge comes, you can quote new education policy of India that we want to become a knowledge superpower. Okay, so conclusion should not be very long. It should be generally one paragraph, small paragraph rather, 3 to 4 sentences for a 15 marker, or 2 to 3 sentences for a 10 marker. Similarly, introduction, it should be around 2 to 3 sentences for 10 marker and 2 to 3 sentences for 15 marker. Introduction should not be very long. Sometimes students tend to write 2 paragraphs of introduction only. For example, a 10 marks question, you get 150 words. Okay, so try to limit your introduction in 20 words, try to limit your conclusion in 30 words, and body in 100 words. So this could be an ideal ratio of your introduction, body and conclusion. Okay, don't try to, if sometimes you go for 50 words for introduction and then again 120 words for your main body, then you may not have space and time for the conclusion and you may miss the conclusion. So try to limit the size of your introduction and try to stick to the word limit. If you stick to the word limit, because the time is also limited and the space is also limited, so try to stick to that. Next part, very important part, fourth important part is your presentation. So one thing is for sure that if you don't present very well means you're not making flow charts or anything, then it may not deduct your marks. The examiner may not deduct your marks. But if you present very well, then you can get extra brownie points. Okay, so zero point 0.5, 1 mark extra. If the examiner likes your presentation, definitely you can get half or 1 mark extra. And believe me, in 20 questions, just by taking care of a few things, as I told you, like writing a good introduction, conclusion, presenting well, using a easy to understand language, good expression, okay, and then in the body part, prioritizing your points, you can score at least 20 to 30 marks extra if you are well aware. Now, if not 30, then around 20 marks you can score extra if you are well aware of the facts that how you can improve this. So 1 mark in every question can be improved. Whatever knowledge you have, with that same knowledge, just by improving your writing skills. And this is what we will be working on for whole 18 months. Okay, so this is one thing. Presentation gets very important when you are writing your answer, because at least it would affect your half mark. And the body part, prioritizing your points, introduction, conclusion, and then your language and expression, they would again contribute to half to 1 mark. So in every question you can increase 1 marks, 20 marks in every paper. That means 80 marks in GS you can increase. You can, from becoming out of the race to becoming the topper or in the top 200 rank, you can come just by using your good writing skills. That's why I told you knowledge, strategy, and writing skills. So writing skills, answer writing is very important to get you a very good rank. Okay. So in the presentation, one thing is that wherever required, you need to draw a diagram. Geography, learn to draw maps. Okay, you can use map in GS paper 1, GS paper 3. In economy, agriculture, industry, minerals, population part, you can use map. In GS1 geography, definitely you can use maps. So try to use maps. And for others, you need to draw some flow charts. Try to draw some flow charts. Two things are, two benefits are there with flow charts. One, they save your time, and the presentation is effective. The examiner can just look on to the flow chart and see that, okay, you are doing good, you have written all the points in the flow chart, you may not have explained, you may not have time to explain, so you will be saving time and the presentation will be good. Examiner may not have to read all the all the things that you are writing. Just looking at the flow chart would be sufficient. Then third part is the underlining. Underlining again is very important. What happens is, what students tend to do is they will be underlining everything in a, they may not even take care of things. In, like, for example, in a 10 marker question, they have written like 25 sentences or 30 sentences. So randomly they would be underlining 3 or 4 sentences. No, underline the keywords only. Keywords, like if you are giving some example, if you are quoting some committee report, if you are quoting some international report, if you are quoting some data, either underline or put them in the box, small box. Okay. And try to use a single color pen to write. Only single color pen to write. For underlining, you can use the second color pen. Only 2 colors are allowed, that is blue and black. Only 2 color pens are. So if you are writing with blue, then write the whole paper in blue. Don't change the pen in between, like writing 10 questions with blue and writing 10 questions with black or something like that. Don't even write one question with black if you are writing with blue, and vice versa. But for underlining, you can use the second color pen. That's your choice. Even not necessary. Even you can underline with the same pen also, but it would be a bit more presentable. That's it. Presentation part is not that very important. As I told you, that it may not result in deduction of marks if you are not presenting it, if you are not making flowchart or things. But if you do it well, then you will get good brownie points. Finally, the language part. This is again very tricky, because most of the students, every time I talk to them, they will be asking, sir, should my vocabulary be very good? Should I be using very big words? I say no. Definitely no. Your language should be very simple. simplest as possible, but just that your flow should be good. You cannot be breaking the flow of your language. You need to know how to change the paragraphs. Some of the students, what they do is they don't know how to change the paragraph. They would be changing paragraph. They have made a one, notion that I need to change the paragraph. So okay, after every 4 5 sentences they will be changing the paragraph. Yeah, they will be starting, and then they will be writing, and they will be changing, then writing, and they will be changing. No, this is not the way. Whenever you are writing something, if you are writing about one thing, one topic, so write it in single paragraph. If it is 7 to 8 sentences, or even if it is a 2 to 3 sentences, then change the paragraph when the topic is changed. Okay, this is very important, specifically in essay writing, changing how to change paragraph. But again, you need not to change frequently. It is not that every 4 to 5 sentences you need to change the paragraph. Change the paragraph when you are changing the topic. We will be talking on the language again at a later stage also, but for the simplest part for now, just write the simple language, as simple as possible. What is your name? My name is Arun Gupta. That's it. This kind of language you need to write. You did not to write that my parents gave me the name as Arun Gupta. Okay, no. Right? Arun Gupta is my name, or my name is Arun Gupta. That's fine. Okay. So simple language, because it is very effective, because it is easy to understand. The paper is all about conveying your thoughts to the examiner, and the simpler language you use, it is easy for the examiner to understand and easy for the examiner to connect. They don't want you to have very, that background that you will be writing big words. So they want you to be a, in the overall, if we talk answer writing, what they are evaluating is they are evaluating your knowledge, obviously, then then your understanding of the topic, then the flow. Do you even know that what should be a structure of answer? Whenever you are answering something, how should you start or how should you end the answer? That is, we talk about the answer structure. Then they may check your presentation, and then they may check your language. Again, so knowledge is content, understanding is context, and then flow is your structure. In the structure, in the body part, they will be looking at your opinion also. So they are also checking your thought process. Okay, so these are various parameters that they are checking, evaluating for you, and you need to be improving on each of these parameters, so that just by improving up in on the parameters, obviously the knowledge part is important, but by these parameters only you can definitely improve up to 80 marks in GS papers. Out of 1000 marks, this is 2 marks, 80 marks. Okay, so try to focus here on bringing good answers. So for today, this is the question. A three-pronged strategy of social empowerment, economic empowerment, and social justice is needed to ensure removal of disparities, elimination of exploitation, and protection of the disadvantaged sections in India. Elaborate. So the question again, a three-pronged strategy. They have given you all the three prongs, that is social empowerment 1, economic empowerment 2, and social justice 3. These strategies are needed to ensure the removal of disparities, number 1, elimination of exploitation, number 2, and protection, number 3, in the context of disadvantaged sections in India. So the question wants you to how these three strategies may remove these three things for the disadvantaged section of the Indian society. 15 marks to 50 words. So as I told you, how to write this answer, you will be writing this in on plain A4 sheets only. Don't use ruled sheets, plain A4 sheets. Search the meaning of these things: social empowerment, economic empowerment, social justice, and how they can help in removing the disparities. Search from some data for some data if possible, okay, or any government policy. So you need to elaborate, definitely elaborate this statement, and then you can introduce, as I told you, introduction, then body, and then conclusion. You can conclude with giving some way forwards, as we have discussed. So this is a very simple question, 250 words. You need to write it and email it to me at arun110288@gmail.com. I'll be evaluating all the answers that I received till 10th of April, 12 p.m. That is 12 at night. Okay. So 10th April, today is 7th. So I'll be evaluating all those answers that I received till 10th April. And in the upcoming videos also, we will be bringing some more questions and how to write answers. For the next video, we will be talking about how to decide optional. And then one video would be the strategy for 2023. A lot of students are asking. And then one video would be regarding book lists. Okay. So you can also comment which video you need first, and I'll be bringing that video only. On this note, try to write the answer. Write the simplest answer. As I told you, today's video is about the answer writing beginners only. So write whatever you know. Don't hesitate. Start writing. It is the time. Write at least 2 to 3 answers every week and try to get them evaluated. If I am giving you any question, I'll be evaluating all of them totally free of cost. So just you can subscribe the channel, and also you can subscribe to my Telegram channel, Gyan Mimansa AWP. I'll be putting the link in the description box below. All the very best. Thank you.